Check 1, 2. It looks like I'm live. Alright, let's run a little test. Nothing too interesting today, but just trying a few settings. It's been a year and a half since I've been live anywhere on YouTube. Go figure. Alright, let's give it a go and see what happens. Check 1, 2. It looks like I'm live.
Australia,
Alright, let's run a little test. Nothing too interesting.
They're telling you a big lie, which is causing too many smokers to die. Australia, Australia, we are better than that.
Alright, this is a little anthem that I created during the week and we didn't catch it. We can catch it in full on this channel. Alright, let's do a little experiment. Let's go to the front card.
It's all a big tobacco conspiracy, with lies spread everywhere and on my TV,
Test live
while the
broadcast.
government protect the big tobacco companies,
Simon Chaplin's former favourite
as they
channel.
go ahead and ban
He'll be happy to know that I'm
protecting
back.
the sales
No
of
doubt.
ciggies.
Alright, here we go. Let's get the split screen going.
Australia, Australia, they're telling you a big lie,
There they are.
which is causing too many smokers to die.
Too many smokers dying.
Australia,
That's horrible. 20,000 a year.
Australia, we are better than that. It's time to listen to real science, and that's that.
Alright, so if you're watching and you're able to type in the chat, let me know. Just say a quick hi and hello. I'm doing this test and broadcast. Look, regardless, I'll play it back and see what all the issues are.
Of Australia, and we're done with the propaganda. We're done with the lies.
Probably can't hear me over the music, but that's okay. All part of the science experiment here today on this test broadcast. Pippa's Alive, let's improve education. That's right, we know the real science, we know what's good for us. Indeed we do.
You say the way to go is prohibition, while over 1 million people have quit smoking by using
I
vapes,
don't know.
an effective way to transition. Now the black market dominates because of the failure to regulate. Suburbs are getting firebomb repeated, so who is it you really hate? As tax revenues for deadly smokes rise, it's clear to me, Mark Butler, you have got this
All wrong, mate. All wrong.
We are the vapors of Australia, and we're done with the propaganda.
Oh, let's go to full screen.
Done with the lies that are spreading, and we know which way this heading. We know the government's word is dangerous, because they're paying for lies from the nefarious. We rely on real science, so we know what's good for us.
Yeah, so I'll fix some of the sound there on the full screen, so that was worth it. Alright, let's go back up to me only, and hi and hello and welcome to Pippa's Live, doing a test broadcast today. Keeping things really trying to keep things really simple to get booted again. For those who are familiar with me, hi, or not familiar with me, hi, I'm Pippa Star. I am I guess a harm reduction advocate, you might as well say. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done this live stuff on YouTube. So yeah, if I seem a little bit stumbly and a little bit rickety and not my smooth, normal presenter self, you'll know why. But look, regardless, why am I doing this test broadcast? It's really important for me because I'm going to do some more live content. And we're going to be starting this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday here in Australia. Time to be announced. Make sure you subscribe. You have to subscribe. You have to hit the bell to stay up with the latest content and when I go live, okay? I will try and announce it around the socials. Most people who know me know that I do most of my stuff on Twitter, or what's better known as X, I guess, these days. I'll just take my headphones off because I look a bit goofy. Yeah, so I try and do most of my content and writing and lots of stuff there. but also do and rehashing, reconstructing, and doing some exciting stuff on pepperslive.com. For example, during the week, I did a wonderful little widget which you can get at the bottom of every page on pepperslive.com, which can put your special customized warning. So you'll see what that's all about if you go over to pepperslive.com. Yeah, so on Wednesday, what's happening Wednesday, people? Why do I have to stay subscribed and click the bell for Wednesday? Not only Wednesday, but also for Thursday. Hi and hello, Aileen Pepper. So on Wednesday, we've got the very important submission inquiry here in Australia. The all important, probably the most important vaping inquiry we've had of all time. I believe it's the third inquiry we've had in the history of vaping, if you like, in Australia. So we're hoping we get it right. Um, Speaking of getting it right, so this is a test broadcast. Bear with me. Give us a yell out in the chat if you can hear me clearly, if I'm making some sort of sense. I want to say hi and hello to Aileen in the chat. How you doing? Rourke, what's up? I'm glad to see you in the chat there, Rourke. As I am also glad to see Hudson out the corner of my eye. So I'm looking over here because remember, this is a test broadcast. So, I might do a bit of something. I do a little trick where I can drag the screen over so I'm not looking right over my shoulder to see any comments that may come up on the screen. As I said, pretty experienced doing the YouTube lives in the past, but I'm about a year and a half out of practice. Haven't done one for a year and a half, so there you go. Rourke says you're coming through good. Well, that's fantastic. Did you hear the music earlier? Were you here early enough to hear the music come through at all, Rourke? I appreciate that. If you just let me know in the chat. Fantastic. Look, chat widgets and all that sort of thing. I'll get a little bit more fancy, but I want to just keep this as basic as it is. As basic as it is, because one thing that I have learned about doing the YouTube content, I've gotten pretty damn fancy. You know, super intros and all that sort of thing. But you know what? At the end of the day, none of it means anything. None of the intros or super effects or anything mean anything unless the content has substance and actually appeals to an audience. So yeah, look, if I can achieve that, that's great. Look, there's some things I guess on the channel while I'm here on this test broadcast. I will say that in the past I was using this channel as stuff that wasn't for vaping, and then I sort of started getting drawn back towards the vaping stuff, and then and live literally meant live, but live brought on a whole new meaning when it really came down to it. It was sort of serendipitous, if that's a word, um, of things falling into place just because they're meant to, in other words. Uh, there was an acronym. Anyway, you know what I mean. One of those acronyms, which is LIVE, obviously stands for Let's Improve Vaping Education. And I think that that is the core of the whole issue as far as vaping goes in Australia and where it is going at the moment, is until education and understanding and comprehension of where or how all the questions behind vaping are answered, but not only answered but educated, so that they're taught, learned, understood, comprehended. Um, that's the only way forward, I think. Because let's face it, I think what we're seeing right now here in Australia, we're seeing a very big parrot syndrome. People just repeating a lot of horrible stuff. We're even seeing a government repeat lots of horrible stuff that we know is totally untrue. When I say we, as a collective of advocates. So yeah, um, let's have a look. Unfortunately, that Senate hearing video won't be released. Been emailing them about it, and government said no. Unfortunately, the transcripts will be the only thing released. Hmm. Hmm. Well, look, I'm going to That's very interesting, and that is breaking news here first by Hudson, which is it's a little bit of a worry. I haven't actually made my obligatory phone call to the Australian Parliament House, as I normally do, just to give them a bit of a heads up if I'm going to broadcast any of their material live. If you want to rebroadcast stuff from their website, cut and edit or whatever, for a journalistic point of view, or that sort of thing, that's not a problem. Usually live, I think they like you to know what what you're about, and there are some rules and regulations. So I did one out of the 2 days last inquiry, which is God nearly 3 years ago, I think. 2021. Wow, time flew, and yeah, I could only do one of the two because only one would broadcast. So unfortunately, the Senate hearing won't be released, but emailing them about it in the government. Yeah, I wonder which inquiry that was. Is just clarify with me in the chat there, Hudson, whether that's the Australian federal inquiry, because from what I understood, that they were going to actually broadcast that live on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm making a big effort at the moment to set everything up in readiness to broadcast live on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know the times. All I know is probably approximately about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard through to probably about 2:30 p.m., 3 p.m. That's about how these meetings normally go, with a bit of a half-hour break in between where we can have a bit of a chin wag. Pardon me, let's have a bit of water. I've forgotten what it's like when you're yabba dabba dabbering on the YouTubes, how dry your throat gets. All right, now, yeah, Rourke says, well, Australia needs a ton of educational vaping. Geez, I've fallen back into a little bit of old habit because I had a little widget, which I've got a little Stream Deck, which is a fancy gadget I have on my desk for shortcuts, and I will start using that. I don't think I'll start using that yet, and I don't think I'll start using it for the live, if all going to plan. Wednesday and Thursday this week, I'm able to broadcast live the full Senate inquiry. But yeah, little widget just so I can highlight your comments on the screen. And look, there's a reason for that, because I think got myself distracted there. But when you're broadcasting something live from Parliament House, there is some rules and regulations around that, and so things have got to be pretty plain Jane as far as the recorded presentation, especially if you're showing most of it or all of it. So there is that to consider. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat. We'll just have a little bit of a live chinwag, a random chinwag. I like that. That's a good thing about random lives, from my memory. Yep, the song come through as well. Yeah, I'm a bit slow on that one, Eileen, but thank you, Eileen. Fantastic. I even now I'm looking for a round of applause button. Oh my god, can't do any of that yet, but you know, soon. Okay, just imagine round of applause for Eileen. Okay, as I said, it's not necessarily all the fancy effects. It's the substance that matters, right? Okay. The first part, at least, says Hudson. Well, the Australian government needs a lot of education on vaping, says Rourke, and I absolutely agree. Bear with me, just a little bit of a random thought. My head is scattering. Is this microphone in the way? Is it? Maybe I might just need to change the angle a little bit or something like that when I'm talking. I don't know. We'll roll with it. Hides my double chin. That's a good reason to have a microphone there. Moving forward, yes, the Australian government certainly do need a lot of education, and the problem, as I see it, at least in my opinion, is if you are only getting your information from a limited amount of sources, and you are limiting the sources in which you are obtaining your best information on vaping and the technology and the science behind it, then you are only limiting what you can actually say and do, and what the quality of the public health messaging will be. And the public health messaging, obviously, around that has been, well, I'll just say it, at least in my opinion, has been nothing short of absolutely deplorable. Um, you know, from things like sort of, the one that, and they're, they're great marketers. They're great marketers because they come from the old, you know, the quit smoking programs and that of the past, and they're just really just tarring vaping with the same brush, and they're using really catchy little things like weed killer. Don't vape because it contains your weed killer, and your nail polish, and your insecticide. Now, here's the funny thing that I find with that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very serious health message. But why I find it a little funny in my eyes is because if you tried killing weeds with e-liquid, right? And believe you me, I've tried. What? You're an idiot, Pip. Yeah, I know. But hey, science is science. They're telling me that I can kill my weeds with nicotine e-liquid. I'm gonna try it. And you know what? My weeds didn't die. Now, I've had some pretty stubborn nail polish on my fingernails at times. Like, they're clear at the moment. Nonetheless, I've had some pretty stubborn nail polish. I haven't been able to get off whatever before. But I've also had some easy to remove nail polish. Bit of a budget with this cost of living crisis at the moment. So I've tried using e-liquid on my nails to remove nail polish because that's the public health claim that vaping will cause. Now I've tried vaping on those weeds that I spoke of before. I've tried vaping on my fingernails before, but you're not going to believe this, guys. It didn't remove my nail polish. It didn't. I tried. And it didn't work. Didn't work. So what does that tell us? Well, but wait, there's more. There's the insecticide. I tried doing the Louis the Fly. I tried putting the e-liquid in a little spray pump bottle. I tried doing all sorts of amazing things. I put it on the cockroaches. I put it around the doorways where the cockroaches normally come in. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of rain and moisture. It's horrible conditions for that sort of pesting and insects and stuff like that. So I put e-liquid around. And you know what? The cockroaches just crawl straight over it. Straight over it. Nicotine e-liquid. But it's an insecticide. Now, don't get me wrong. You shouldn't inhale insecticide. You shouldn't inhale nail polish. But let's get this in perspective. That's the public health messaging. Legal products like insecticide available from age whatever, as soon as you can place a purchase in your local supermarket, and nail polish remover as soon as it's available from a supermarket, as is weed killer. Anyone of any age can go and buy those high strength products which have the potential to cause harm. And a lot more harm than, say, e-liquid or nicotine. Because if you put those ingredients straight on, the real weed killer, what's it going to do? Kill weeds. If it doesn't, what are you going to do? You're going to take it back. What's e-liquid going to do? Not. So, of course, it's all about the strength. It's the strength of the poison, people are going to say. Well, of course it is. But it's about the strength of the public health messaging as well. Let's let people know that, of course, the dosage determines the poison, not the other way around. Not the other way around. Otherwise, because everything is a chemical. H2O is a chemical. You can die from it. If you consume way too much water in too short a period of time, yes, people have died from that. What are we going to do? Ban water? It's the dosage. Of course not. So, these ridiculous health claims, I guess, I've made my point. That's about where things are at. the moment, and this is why we need to improve education. Let's have a chin wag to see what other people have popped up in the chat. And just look, I think it's really, really nice. So thank you guys. Obviously, you guys have subscribed to the channel, and I appreciate that a lot because I didn't really expect anyone to turn up. I mean, it's been, geez, since I've been live on this channel, it must be a year and a half. I've done a few little videos. Obviously, I've released a few videos over the last couple of weeks and that sort of thing, but I really haven't done much on YouTube for a long time. So, yeah, back on the YouTubes. We're still going hard on the X. I've sort of slowed down on the X in the last week. You know, I need to sort of set a lot of stuff up in the background. Working on the pipperslive.com website, and obviously all sorts of stuff, as well as trying to work and get some money for a living. In saying that, look, I don't like asking anybody for anything or any help, and a lot of people say, Pip, how do you find time? How do you find time? How do you find the energy to do what you do? And look, I say it's my passion. What other time in history have we got an opportunity to maybe help up to 20,000 deaths from smoking every year in Australia? Um, what time in history have we got an opportunity to reduce that? That horrible epidemic, and the real epidemic, not this epidemic that people want to talk about when it comes to vaping, which is the fake epidemic, because nobody's dying from it. We're hearing a few stories of some hospitalizations, and we find out that they're really conflated information that have got absolutely nothing to do with vaping. But they're always trying to find a way, because it helps pay their way. But nonetheless, let's go back to the comments. God, I get on a burn, don't I, guys? I get on a burn. I just get on a topic and I just. Anyway, sidetracked. Let's have a look and see what you guys have got to say. Husband said it was for journalistic purposes, even asked for an audio version for people who can't read, etc. Also, the New South Wales Senate hearing we could have a complete record of. Okay, yeah, the New South Wales Senate hearing. So I got most of that, and you would have seen that. And there is a video on this channel. Most of it that was videoed, I think I've got about 90+% of it is actually on this channel. So I feel welcome to go back and have a look at that with regarding New South Wales hearing. You can definitely record it, download it. I think you can download it with a YouTube account if you've got one, if you could bother paying them a few dollars or whatever a month they want. Or you can use, obviously, there's a myriad of free programs out there which you can download videos and then pop it into your Windows editing program, whatever that may be your favorite, and cut up the pieces as you wish there, Hudson. There's my thought on that. Everything looks good. Thank you, Aileen. Yeah, I'm just looking at it on my side screen here, in this monitor that I'm looking at the side here. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Look, behind me it looks a bit shabby. I get it, I've just got, you can see it, right? The curtains are out of the packets. You can see the curtains have just come out of the packets. Hey, no frills, no lies, no bullshit from me. It is what it is. It covers what I want to cover in my background and just simplify the background. Yeah, I wish I could get rid of the door, maybe the door handle. I'll have a play around, but there's a little bit of a no frills channel. Let's make this about the substance, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm blabbering once again. But thank you. I'm weird. I'm weird when it comes to compliments. I'm sorry. I'm just weird when it comes to compliments, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that everything does look good. And one thing and that I also appreciate, believe it or not, is critique. Now, don't get me wrong. There's big difference between trolling and critique. So I appreciate constructive critique. Hey, Pip, oh, this logo looks a bit weird or whatever. What's that mean? Or um, something looks sideways. Something does messing with my OCD or whatever. Yeah, look, by all means, let me know when you watch this live or in the comments below later. Um, I'm always curious about that because yeah, you want to keep things simple and easy to watch, and it's all about the substance, not the distractions. I think, although because I can get distracted enough myself, I think. Um, all right. What else? What else? What else? Anna Wood drinking too much water and dying from H2O. OD. There we go. Rest in peace. Hello to the late night show, Vape Show. How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Like Mick Beavers. God, see, the memory's still working. It's been a while. This is my first ever live anywhere on YouTube for a year and a half. For a year and a half there, Mick. So, thanks for joining us in the chat. I think it's Mick. It's either Mick or Bill, but I think it's Mick. I think it's Mick. Because I occasionally get a chance to have a little look at some replays of some shows, or that I don't get a chance to keep up with too much because I've been literally pouring my spare time and energy into trying to help do what I can for the Australian vaping scene, in as far as advocacy and investigating and understanding what the hell is going on behind the scenes. And that does take up a lot of my time, but it's good to see, Mick. I've seen your channel is growing really, really well by the looks of it too. So yeah, go check out the Late Night Vape Show. Um, nice English guy, doing some bit of fun down to earth content as well on the YouTube. Well, guys, I don't want to bore you too much. I don't want to bore you too much because it's a bit of an unplanned thing. Of course, I haven't announced this. It was only you lovely people just happen to be around to help me out with this test broadcast. So you can sort of maybe see what's going on. Give me a little bit of feedback, which I appreciate. And I can go back and watch this live. It's always a bit cringy watching yourself back live. But anyway, you got to do it if you're going to do YouTube, right? So yeah, it's given me a bit of an opportunity to have a little play with the settings here and see what I can do, see what I can achieve, and how to keep things simple. And all going to plan, I should be back live on Wednesday morning. Now, as I say, stay subscribed or subscribe. Make sure you click that bell if you are subscribed. That's the only way you're going to get notifications for this Wednesday, Thursday, more than likely. So make sure you follow what I'm doing on X as well at Live Pippers. So it's around the other way. Bit weird. Anyway, it's the thing I could get, right? Couldn't get Pippers live for some reason. Anyway, and live Pippers. Remember, live now is the acronym for Let's Improve Vaping Education. So follow me there. I'll be starting to roll out a little bit more content on the other platforms, the Facebooks and the Instagrams and whatnot. But you know, the main central hub, because a lot of people don't like all those social medias. The social medias. How old do I sound? I won't tell you my age. I will. No, I won't. Anyway, the main hub. If you don't like getting around all the social medias and I'm going to put all the content, including all the stuff that I write. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to start including all the stuff that I've been writing over the last year and a half. So it's going to be a bit of a job. All the articles and all the new articles, etc., will appear on pipperslive.com. Now, I got myself a little bit distracted before. As I said, I don't like asking people for anything or it's hopeless out of rhyme. I just hate it. But look, at the end of the day, this platform does cost me a bit. It cost me a lot in time. It cost me a lot of energy. It costs money to run a website, and it costs money to do what I do. And believe it or not, I'm not made of it, but I have the drive and I have the passion and I have the willingness to want to be able to get this whole shit show sorted out so vaping has a chance here in Australia. And for that to happen, I do need a little bit of support. So I'm not asking for much. Don't have to pay, don't have to give me anything. I appreciate those who do. Um, Buy me a coffee is link that is right at the top of my pipperslive.com page and my Twitter account as well. It's small incremental amounts. If you can help, great. If you can't, doesn't matter either. Because the main thing is that there's information that I can put out there that can help you. I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway. Um, just helps me become less broke doing it. um, oh no, you're taking money from the vaping industry. Oh, off with all that. There's just so much contrived, ridiculous argument around vaping right now here in Australia that if anyone comes to me with that, they can get stuffed. Um, Look, I'm not interested in supporting the big tobacco industry. That's just my point. That's where I stand. My viewpoint is that I advocate tobacco harm reduction, for risk proportionate regulation. Now that doesn't mean regulate vapes and legalize them, license them, and have them available at all retailers where smoking products are sold. It does mean that. But on top of that, I'm not saying do that and tax the living bejesus out of it and tax it like cigarettes, as some politicians are saying. And and to be honest, as some Australian advocates I've heard say, yeah, that's fine, just do that. Yeah, that'd be fine. That's better than what we got now. Because you know what? It'll still make the black market cheaper. Still make the black market cheaper. So that's where I stand. I stand for low tax. The GST's fine. The GST's fine, which is 10% at the moment, and that's fine. Should be risk proportionate. There's no way vaping products should be ever subjected to the same tax as cigarettes are. And that's about where I stand. But if you want to see where I stand a little bit more on these issues, follow me on the social medias if you want to. Um, Yeah, Eileen says I watch YouTube regularly, but I'm not on Facebook much anymore. Look, I think this is the way of the world, you know. I think Mark Zuckerberg's in free fall. His platform, I just don't think it's aged very well. It's just the way things have gone, but look, nonetheless, look, I'll keep sharing throughout the platforms, different strokes for different folks, and see how things go. But look, thank you once again for joining me here on Peppers Live. Um, my old slogan was "This is at that moment," and I'm going to talk a little bit about that on the way out. Although this is only a test broadcast, right? Um, because sometimes moments like these, they're random, right? They're unexpected, and I didn't expect you guys to hop on today. But I'm glad I've had that moment, because it's important to cherish every moment. And that's why I advocate for vaping and tobacco harm reduction in Australia. Because you never know when the last moment will be, do we? We don't. We don't know. Could be end, could just finish like that. And that's why we need to cherish each and every moment. This is that moment. And we need to make sure we have plenty more moments like this. But not only just for us, but for those smokers that haven't realized the potential of this wonderful harm reduction technology. And that's why we must improve vaping education. Let's improve vaping education. I'm Pippa Star. You are beautiful. Till next time, thanks you for joining me. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. And let's try a little bit of something before I get out of here. Before I get out of here, maybe we can go out with a little bit of Vapors of Australia written by me, performed by some anonymous people somewhere. Um, somewhere. Let me find it. And go out with that, hey? Alright, guys. Let's
Australia,
go.
Australia, they're telling you a big lie, which
Thanks for
is
joining me.
causing
Cheers
too
for now.
many smokers to die.
Ciao for now.
Australia, Australia, we are better than that. It's time to listen to real science, and that's that. They say it's all a big tobacco conspiracy, with lies spread everywhere and on my TV, while the government protect the big tobacco companies, as they go ahead and ban vapes and protecting the sales of ciggies. Australia, Australia, they're telling you a big lie, which is causing too many smokers to die. Australia, Australia, we are better than that. It's time to listen to real science, and that's that.
We are the vapors of Australia, and we're done with the propaganda. We're done with the lies that are spreading, and we know which way this heading. We know the government's word is dangerous, because they're paying for lies from the nefarious. We rely on real science, so we know what's good for us.
You say the way to go is prohibition, while over 1 million people have quit smoking by using vapes, an effective way to transition. Now the black market dominates because of the failure to regulate. Suburbs are getting firebomb repeated, so who is it you really hate? As tax revenues for deadly smokes rise, it's clear to me, Mark Butler, you have got this all wrong, mate.
We are the vapors of Australia, and we're done with the propaganda. We're done with the lies that are spreading, and we know which way this heading. We know the government's word is dangerous, because they're paying for lies from the nefarious. We rely on real science, so we know what's good for us.
Thank you for joining me once again, guys. Have a great day.